My Adventures with Superman. It has been officially renewed for season 3, which is dope. Because good God, the last episode was so good. I watched it like a couple hours ago. It was incredible. Easily the best episode of the entire show. This is what
Oh
I'm
wow.
talking about, Ira. They actually wrote a good villain, and everything I was talking about how I was super excited for Supergirl to be in the show because they're best at writing the character relationships between the protagonist and his like supporting cast. I couldn't have been more right. The writing, the relationship between the cousins is so good. You know, long lost cousins. You know, last of their kind. You know, finally finding someone else like them. It's real cool. It's great. Um, but you know, they had in the episode she appeared in, which was last episode. She was dressed like Android 18. Um, and there's a lot of anime references in My Adventure with Superman. You know, people working on it are, you know, just people who grew up watching anime, especially Dragon Ball Z. But the toxic nerds online just can't fathom American cartoons taking inspiration from anime. And you know, people love anime, but then they get so mad when other like storytelling mediums or like other cultures take inspiration from it, despite that just meaning that we'll get more of the thing that we love in a slightly different form. It's real weird. There's also been a debate about Dragon Ball Z being inspired by Superman because of the Dragon Ball Z references in the show and people, you know, comparing them. And a lot of toxic nerds think that they're breaking new ground by telling people, no, he wasn't inspired by Superman. He was actually inspired by Sun Wukong from Journey to the West. Like, that's like some newfound knowledge that people didn't already know. That's like basic knowledge about Dragon Ball Z. And the simple
Know
answer,
anything about Dragon Ball Z, and I knew that.
like the simple answer to this problem is also that like he was inspired by both. That's an option. I hope people know that. You don't have to pick one. Toriyama, infamously a Superman fan, he makes reference to Superman in his earlier manga, Dr. Slump. Akira Toriyama knows who Superman is because he's Superman. Everybody knows who he is. He likes Superman. He took some inspiration from Superman for Goku, and that's okay. He's not a
My
carbon
thing is,
copy.
a lot of manga artists and like people who do animation take inspiration from American media, like music and everything. Like, what do you
Literally,
think JoJo
exactly. Like, and you know, I don't want to try to make it seem like America's the root of everything, but like the
No,
reality,
no, not at all.
the reality is, literally, anime exists because of American cartoons. That's not a lie. Astro Boy, the first like manga and anime, was inspired by Mickey Mouse and like Disney cartoons from that era. It's like, and then it comes back around to where then Americans see what Japanese people are doing with cartoons, and then they take inspiration, and it goes in a circle and it goes around and around. It's been doing that for decades. Back with samurai films and westerns. Westerns came out.
Mhm.
Japanese people saw westerns like that's really cool, and then they made samurai films that were heavily inspired by westerns, and then westerns started seeing samurai films and started making westerns inspired by samurai films, and it just went in a circle. That's just how this works. The East and West have been sharing stuff like that for years. That's why we have like Avatar: The Last Airbender. That's why stuff like that exists. It's why Cowboy Bebop exists.
Trigun also.
Trigun, Cowboy Bebop. Come on now, we can go on. We can go on and on all day. My Hero Academia. Come on. People love to shit on Superman, but then All Might will be like one of their favorite anime characters. If you like All Might and don't like Superman, you're stupid. They're the same character. They're
Straight up
literally
though.
the same character. You just got to find the right story. Um, but yeah, like I said, season 6 is incredible. I forgot to check. I'm gonna have to look this up later. I think the person voice. So I think in like one of the early trailers, I remember saying that I wasn't. I don't know if you remember. I said I wasn't sure how I felt about Brainiac's voice. Um, I think he might be voiced by the same person that voices Kronos in Hades 2, and because of that, I love his voice. Because I've been playing so much
Mm.
Hades 2, and I hear his voice so much, and I'm like, oh, this is a perfect voice for Brainiac. It works so good. And Brainiac in this is he's good. He's evil. He's cold. He's calculating. He's great. And the stuff going on with Supergirl is without spoiling. It's giving Invincible vibes a little bit, but I'm gonna leave it at that. I don't want to ruin it for nobody. Check out my Adventure with Superman.
Oh
It's
my
real good.
gosh.
Um,
I actually started watching Invincible again.
oh, so good,
Crazy stuff.
so good.
By proxy, my girlfriend watches it, and so I'll peek over her shoulder every once in a while. It's getting
You know what? Just
It's so
remind me.
creepy.
I need to finish rereading the manga. I'm like close towards. I mean, the manga, the comic, because it's I'm close towards the end again. Because I had binged it in like 2 weeks. Back when Invincible was airing, I decided to read the manga first.
Yeah.
I keep calling it
Hey.
manga. Technically, they're the same thing, but you know what I mean. I read
Yeah.
the comic first. I binged it in like 2 weeks, but because of that, stuff got jumbled in my brain. I read it too fast. So when season 2 came about, I started like rereading it. Or like when the trailer for season 2 came out, I started rereading it and like taking my time so I can actually absorb the information more. And yeah, Invisible comic is just good. If you haven't read the comic, I would definitely advise checking that out at some point because they're different enough that they're both like wholly unique experiences versus like even though Invincible is much more one to one than most American comic book adaptations, it's still like not like a manga. It's not like completely one to one, so you don't like it's different enough. Have you seen Invincible, Eric?
Yeah, I'm still actually watching the recent season. I think I'm about one more episode.
Yeah.
But,
Hopefully they learn from the mistakes of season 2 of splitting it in half like that. If they were to split in half like that, they should have just waited until the beginning of this year to release it all. Because it completely killed the momentum of the show and its popularity. So like hopefully they don't make that mistake again.
I would have definitely been fine waiting for possibly another year if it meant keeping everything cohesive.
Yeah. Hopefully they realize that was the wrong move. But we'll see.